CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack. Well, SAANICH police are on the hunt tonight for a sex deviant after a man was spotted near an elementary school today naked from the waist down. Police say a woman was jogging on Lochside Trail at about 11:30 this morning. She ran into a man who was wearing no pants. She immediately called police and she tried to keep an eye on the man but lost sight of him. Officers combed the Maddox Wood area and they warned parents and staff at nearby Cordova Bay Elementary School that a flasher may be in the neighborhood.
Our officers were deployed in force to try and find this male, and unfortunately we couldn't find him. There was a concern on the part of the caller because there was the presence of Cordova Bay Elementary School, which is only a short distance away.
The school phoned my wife at work, had her contact number, and said a flasher had been spotted in the area. I guess they asked the children who walks home, told them they couldn't walk home today. My wife called me. I volunteered to pick them up. So really good on the school's part.
Nice to see the police here as well?
Yeah, they take it serious. So it's a good community feeling, but what next?
SAANICH officers were patrolling the area when the students were let out from Cordova Bay Elementary. Police ask if you see anyone in that area acting in a suspicious manner to immediately call 911. A nearly 15-month investigation on the island has ended with charges against a Victoria man that police say was acting as a pimp, offering a 16-year-old girl for sex. West Shore RCMP say they were tipped off in November of 2010 that the young girl was being advertised as a prostitute on several online sites.
On January 19th of this year, we were able to lay 6 charges against a 22-year-old male, Stephen Charlie, out of Victoria. The charges include procurement, aid, abet, or compel a person to carry on prostitution, living off the avails of prostitution, kidnapping, and assault. And we believe that this individual is behind the online solicitation.
The suspect, Stephen Charlie, remains in custody. The identity of the victim will not be released. RCMP and NANAIMO have arrested a man they say has repeatedly tried to smuggle drugs onto Vancouver Island on board BC ferries. Police say 47-year-old Mark Poisson was taken into custody at the Departure Bay Terminal last night. Members of NANAIMO's municipal drug unit were waiting for him as he stepped off the ferry from Tsawwassen, just like they have several times before.
They caught him walking off a BC ferry arriving from Tsawwassen on Monday night. He was arrested with 3 ounces of methamphetamine, some drug packaging materials, and a digital scale. Mr. Poisson's well known to us. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years he's been arrested as a walk-off passenger on the ferries, twice at Duke Point, one in 2009 and 2010. Both times he had several ounces of methamphetamine.
In the first case, Poisson was sentenced to time served and was acquitted in the second incident. This time he's charged with 1 count of possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking and 2 counts of breaching an existing undertaking. Well, a Vancouver Island college is reaching out right now to people who are looking for work by trying to help them develop the skills they need to get a job. The SAANICH School District is partnering with Camosun College and the Paquetchon First Nation to help people who are out of work to get the skills they need to land a job in the trades. It is called the Trades Awareness, Skills and Knowledge Program, and it kicked off in North SAANICH today with free work belts and alarm clocks. Some of the training will be offered in plumbing, carpentry and painting, and the job seekers who took part say the program gives them a second chance.
I've been a commercial fisherman all my life. I grew up on a boat with my dad, and this is going to be a good change. I got a son at home. It's going to be good to be home and not be gone for 5 months. So this is a good transition from going from fishing to this program. It's going to benefit me in lots of ways.
Designed to give them a sampling of the areas, spark an interest in one of those areas, and then when they do their work placement, which is part of the program, they can choose an area that is of interest to them.
The 5-month program is free. If you'd like more information on how you can get involved, log on to getyouthworking.ca. The efforts by generous Vancouver Islanders to help a NANOOSE First Nations family who lost everything in a tragic fire is continuing to come together. The fire killed 2 young boys and left a family of 4 homeless. The First Nation says everything needed to refurnish the family's new home has now been donated, and a trust fund will be set up for cash donations to help them with other needs.
People are still dropping off clothing and furniture and money, and calls are coming in about fundraising that is going on out in community right now. The family has all the furniture and appliances they need now, so now it's just going to be the financial support.
The home was not insured, but it will be rebuilt through the donation of material and supplies. SLEGG Lumber is spearheading the volunteer effort and says just a few more things are needed.
We could really use somebody in the plumbing industry and the electrical industry to maybe, you know, supply some materials for plumbing and electrical. We've got a roofer willing to roof, an insulator willing to insulate, a finisher willing to hang the doors and do all the moldings. We haven't got a cider yet, but we're getting phone calls all the time. It's absolutely amazing. This didn't start out this way, but it kind of renews your faith in mankind. It's very, very cool.
If you are able to assist with rebuilding the home through donated labor or materials, you can contact Ken BROWNSELL at 250-758-8329. Art thieves trying to make a getaway caused a 4-vehicle crash on the highway near Coombs today after an alert RCMP officer spotted their car. An expensive piece of art had been stolen from a Qualicum business late this morning, and then just moments later an Oceanside RCMP officer patrolling the Alberni highway near Coombs saw the vehicle that the thieves had fled in. The officer tried to pull the vehicle over. The vehicle spun around and tried to hit the cruiser. The first time the officer managed to steer the vehicle out of the way, but the vehicle just spun around and headed for the police cruiser again.
At the last moment, the driver of the other car turned away from the police car, went a little further down the roadway, again turned around, and this time approached the police vehicle from the rear, rammed the police vehicle twice, pushing it into one other car that was traveling the same direction, and then a subsequent vehicle, pickup truck, became involved in the collision as well.
No one was seriously injured in the crash. An RCMP collision analyst spent much of the day at the scene while other officers were investigating the original crime, which was the art theft. RCMP have a man and woman in custody. There's a newly formed group that's speaking out, trying to defend deer in the capital region. The group calls itself Deer Safe Victoria. The group strongly opposes any urban deer call, and this morning they sent a letter to the Capital Regional District saying that there are alternatives to reducing human-deer conflicts. The Animal Alliance and Environmental Voters Party are also helping out.
It would be a real shame if they went ahead with this cull option without consulting a broader part of the population. We'd like the CRD to listen to us and open the lines of communication. There's new technologies that can deter wildlife from entering urban areas.
There is no formal plan for a cull just yet. In November, the CRD board decided to develop an action plan for deer management in the region. That report is expected early this year. RCMP in the Oceanside area need your help as they try to track down the driver involved in a hit and run. A man was driving a vehicle similar to the one pictured last night when he hit a 21-year-old woman walking into the Parksville Shoppers Drug Mart. She suffered minor injuries only, but the man didn't stop to find out if she was okay. He took off. He's in his late 60s with gray hair and glasses. Police hope you will come forward if you know who he is, and you'll be in touch. A young man who attacked a senior in a park in NANAIMO is going to spend the next year in jail. 18-year-old Keith Prince was sentenced for his part in the attack and robbery of the 74-year-old who was targeted while out for a walk in Maffeo Sutton Park. Police say the man suffered serious injuries and the attack only stopped when witnesses intervened. A second suspect in the attack had the charges against him stayed. A third suspect is awaiting trial. His name cannot be released because of his age. The CEO of the Comox Airport is stepping down. Shirley De Silva has been in that position for the past 2 years. The board of the airport says she stepped down for personal reasons and they are sorry to see her go. The airport has seen a 4% increase in passenger numbers since De Silva took over. And she spearheaded the development of a new strategic plan focusing on acquiring new air service. De Silva will stay in her position until the end of April to assist with a smooth transition to the next CEO.